Welcome back, and many thanks for staying with us. We continue with our conversation on Women at the Forefront, still joined by Lydia Tett, founder Malaika Dance Unique, as well as founder Kenya and Friends in the Park, and also a philanthropist. Before we went on break, Lydia, we were just trying to understand how MDU came about and what prompted it. But let's now focus on the work it's doing, particularly when it comes to that creative of education, when it comes to societies and communities. And just want us to start with how you get to do this.
Okay. So I used to work for somebody first.
Yes.
And from there, that's when I ventured to open a company, Malaika Dance Unique, because I do believe in working for self. That's what I believe, and I'm not saying don't work for somebody, but that's what I believe, that if I work for self, then I have the freedom to do what I want to do. And so I started Malaika Dance Unique, and that platform is to educate the youths. So it's not just about going to, because I go to different schools and I teach them and I empower the youths as well, and it's all through the Malaika Dance Unique. And there's a lot of children, especially in the UK, who have totally forgotten their culture, and they don't want to be associated with the country they either their parents come from or they come from, because either they went to the UK when they were young. That means they're from whatever country they came from, or they were born there. But whether they were born there, their parents come from somewhere, or their generation, it doesn't matter if it's the 5th to the 6th, but they do have somewhere the roots. And we have a lot of people, children who are like, no, I'm not from Kenya, or I'm not Nigerian, or whatever. And now that's where I come in and I start educating them on the importance of knowing your roots, because you cannot move forward if you don't know where you come from. And through that, I've actually seen change a lot, and I've seen youths coming to tell me, oh, now I can actually proudly say I'm from Morocco, or I'm from Nigeria, and I'm from this country. And my own children as well, even though they were born in the UK, but they all know that they're Kenyans. There's even one time when they were doing this thing in school, and my daughter says, they were writing their history, my daughter says she's Kenyan, and the teacher called me and said, why she says she's Kenyan, she was born in the UK. And my daughter said, well, my blood is Kenyan, and blood is more important than, is more powerful than a paper. Because me being British, I was born in Britain, it's just paper, but my blood is Kenya. So, and that's what I try and implement in other youths as well. So it's about, and I work more with black children or black youths, not that the other community don't matter, but it's because I feel like it's the black community that needs more teaching in regards to their roots and their culture. So that is something that we do as well. And we also go to the community, and if they have like a wedding, or we go and work with the children, because when they're going to, if you're going to a wedding or you're going to a celebration or it's a community event, people come with their children. So we go and facilitate workshops for the young ones. We go and facilitate workshops for the children. So that is all what Malaika Dance Unique does. And
so really you have a heart for young people, completely and totally. So is that then just empowerment only, or there's something more than that, but as it pertains to the young people that you do?
Well, we also give young people a chance to now go outside and do the workshops themselves. So like now I have somebody who have opened their own company because of the training that we give them. And then we also we do acting as well, because I'm a director and a writer of a play. In fact, there's a play coming out in September called The Darkest Hours of Victory, and the play is about the Mau Mau. So we say the unforgotten heroes in Kenya, because we know that a lot of the Mau Maus, people who fought for our independence, are never recognized, or most of the times they're not recognized. Even when we have October, which is the 20th of October or 12th of December, those are the times we're supposed to sing their praises, but it's never sung. We still talk about investments at that time, rather than talk about the heroes. So I wrote a play in regards to that. I had to go to Gitu Akahengeri, who initiated the payment of the Mau Maus, and he gave me the story of what happened, because I wasn't there. So he gave me the story, so I did that. And now I'm also teaching the youths, especially Kenyan youths, of what the history of Kenya, and allowing them as well to act it. So we're doing that. And then now is giving the youths as well a privilege to now take it So you give the baton to them, so they now take it out and implement the exact thing that we're trying to do in Malaika Dance Unique.
I like that. So then it just means that it's not just the youths in the UK, the blacks that you're talking about, but you also do this back home.
Yes.
When it comes to those empowerment programs.
Yes.
How do you get to do this? I mean, you are largely in the UK, of course, you come back to the country. How do you merge this young people together?
Well, like when I'm coming home, I always have I've done a program already. Okay. So I said, okay, when I'm coming home, I'm going to see these youths. Like on Monday, I just came back from Bungoma, Kibali University. I was there doing a speech for the students there. So what I do is I liaise with people here who have schools, or either universities or schools. On Friday, I'm going to, that is a philanthropist part. Do you want me to talk about that? Talk about that later? So on Friday, there's a school, as a philanthropist now, I work with different charities here in Kenya as well. And one of them that really my heart is so close to is a school in Kibera called Shama Splendid School. So when I first met them, it was totally, you know how the schools are. Even the lab was scary because it's all made of mabati, you know, and I'm thinking all these chemicals that you guys are using, this is really dangerous because it gets really hot. So we got in that school as Kenya and Friends in the Park, and we are rebuilding the school which we have, and every time we have people coming from diaspora, I always send them to the school either to help with the project, if it's feeding program or teachers program payment or whatever it is, or buying a uniform for somebody. Like this Friday, a lot of people are coming from diaspora, so we're going to have like 30 people coming because there's somebody's wedding. So they're going to the school and they're going to do some feeding program, and then they're going to take the boy child out there, the girl child, and talk to them just to empower them. So we do a lot of that. So I do a lot of that with people in the diaspora. They help a lot as well. When I put it out there and say, okay, I'm going back to Kenya and I want help, financial help. Like it was my birthday last time, and I said I want, for my present, I want money because I want to give this money to the school. And I actually collected more than 100,000 Kenya shillings, and I gave it all to the school. So we work with that school, and we also work with a lady called Jerry. She does usikimye, and usikimye also is in line with what I do because she campaigns against domestic violence, against child molestation, and all those are the things that I also do, especially in the UK as well. I have a show that I fight, or I campaign against domestic violence. So those are the things I do as a philanthropist.
And this you do through Kenya, is it?
Kenya and Friends in the
Park, as well as also MDU, just trying to also see how you can uplift the lives of young people both in the UK as well as in the country through empowerment programs. How have those success stories been like? You know, because young people oftentimes, there's that conversation that keeps going around. They're always in different fronts. They keep feeling that they are left out. They are not in the decision-making tables. They are not part of the conversations in larger fronts. You talk about the different capacities, they're just not there. So let's look at those success stories in terms of how you've helped these young people in both the UK as well as Kenya.
In the UK, it's been a very good success because, like I said, there's a lot of youths that are in prison. And by me talking to a lot of youths, I think I would like to take the credit, but I would say that he has helped a lot of children to stay out of trouble because when I first meet them, they're all this, like, yeah, auntie, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what, with trousers over there. And then by the time I talk to them and I try to tell them, look, this is not how life should be. That doesn't make you cool. By the time I see them now, their trousers are there. And then the next time now they have a belt, which is good. So
they get some discipline?
Get some discipline. And they now start knowing how to carry themselves, okay? Because it's just about, now you're doing this, in 10 years' time it's going to follow you because everything we do in life has a repercussion. It's like you're planting a seed. The seed will grow and someone has to harvest that seed. It might be your grandchildren. So imagine you're old, you're around 70 or whatever, sitting down there and looking at your grandchild because now your grandchild is reaping the seed that you planted. And now you feel so bad because this child is suffering and suffering. And they're suffering because of your mistakes. They're suffering because of the seed you planted. So when I talk to them like this, and wow, they start seeing reasoning. And they're like, well, we never saw it like that. Because I'm like, you're not going to be 18 forever. I was 18 once upon a time. I'm not 18 anymore. You're not going to be 20 forever. So I've seen a lot of success stories in the UK, and I've also seen a lot of success stories here, especially with that school again going back. COVID time, I still had Zoom meetings with them. I still managed to do Zoom.
So nothing was hindering you from conducting these programs?
No, I was still doing Zoom meetings with them. Every Saturdays I'll do Zoom meetings with them. I'll talk to the teachers as well, because it's not just about the students. Also, we have, because in the UK there's a lot of time teachers have it's called Inset Day. So teachers just teachers, and somebody comes and motivates them, or somebody comes and talks to them. So I told this the principal that I also want to talk to teachers, because again, sometimes the child's life is either made or destroyed by a teacher. So teachers also have to know, because if a child is young and this teacher keeps on saying negative things to that child, because you're a figure of authority, and we are brought up to respect figures of authority.
Yes.
So if a child hears a teacher saying these negative things in their life, they'll grow up just thinking, yeah, I'm stupid, I'm this is who I am, and then they start behaving that, because now that is manifesting itself. So I have to talk to the teachers as well and say, guys, you really need to know how you talk to the children. Don't ever call children these negative things, because you need to know how to separate and identify a behavior and a child. And that's why they say God loves the sinner, but he hates the sin. So you need to identify this is a mistake that the child did, but the child is not stupid because they did this. It's the behavior that was stupid. So we need to identify that and stop calling children these names. And I saw a success story, especially when it came to COVID. Only 2 girls got pregnant in the school when they were 16 or 17. But a lot of them were focused. And I'm not saying these girls were not focused, but I'm just saying we all know that we need to focus and be older before you have children, because you need to know, how am I going to bring up these children? Because you don't want to bring children and then let the society or the community or your parents bring up these children for you. You need to be ready for that. So at 16 or 17, you're not ready for that, to be honest. And only 2 girls got pregnant, but even if they did, I still managed to talk to them, and I was like, guys, this is a mistake, but you're not a mistake. What you did was a mistake, but you're not a mistake, and that child is a blessing. That child is not a mistake either, because the child is now here. This child is a blessing. So we need to see how we're going to grow this child and also grow you at the same time. So, but a lot of girls came to me and said, wow, it's because of you I focus.
So they feel the impact of what you're doing.
They feel the impact. And you also largely
100%. Deal with behavior change amongst these young people.
Yes, we need to talk about that. We talk about the behavior, and we talk to the boy child, and we also talk to the girl child, because what happens is we do a lot of girl empowerment, girl child empowerment.
At the expense of the boy?
We forget the boy. Now we need to actually also empower the boy to the standard of the girl, of this
empowered girl.
This empowered girl, okay? Because if you don't do anything with the boy child will come and destroy this girl child anyway. You understand? So we need to take both of them through this journey, not just one and leave the other.
And actually, for a good time, I kept thinking that we're really doing, and I'm a lady, obviously, and it's good, but for a good time, I kept feeling like you're doing so much for the girl at the expense of the boy. It just needs to be a concerted effort.
Yeah, we need to balance it. But now we've forgotten the boy child. We're just concentrating on, girl has to be empowered, has to be empowered, but you're forgetting one gender. So I think they need to be a proper balance, and then we might, I'm not saying we will, or we should have a better community tomorrow if we balance it both.
Balance it and do it very well.
And do it very well.
Now, I mean, with what you're doing, clearly, just also from what you're telling us, there's a lot of impact that you're putting back to the community and the society. I mean, because you could have decided, I've gotten a lot with the plays that I'm writing, the movies and the series that are playing in the UK, in Nollywood. You could have said, I mean, let me just sit. I've already gotten what I wanted, but you're choosing to use your story, what you went through, with what you've achieved, to try and see how you can give back and assist the society and particularly the young people, because they really tend to feel so much vulnerable. But we cannot shy away from the fact that there's a lot of challenges. Just the way you mentioned that during your birthday you asked them to bring you money because you wanted to give it back and see how you can inject it, the different projects that you're doing. So really, what keeps you moving and forward and motivated, that regardless of what is happening around, I still want to do this for my society, whether in the UK or Kenya, but I want to make a difference in the lives of these young people.
That's my why. You know, they always say that you need to have your why.
Yeah.
Your why is what wakes you up. Your why is what pushes you. Your why is what makes you try. Your why is not what makes you never give up.
Okay.
And to be honest, my why is my 3 beautiful angels.
Wow.
Because their dad left me when my little one was 2. Now she's 16. And when I look at my whys, when I look at my children, I want them to make an impact to the community, even when I'm gone. So if I'm selfish and I don't teach my children how to give, because even my children, they're givers already. When it's Christmas, they cook food for homeless people in the UK. And sometimes...
So they began doing this from that
age, yes. And there's even I think it's last Christmas, I had a fight with my children because they were like, their expectation and there was too much. They're like, oh, we're going to cook. And I say, no, honey, you have to be realistic. This is too much food you're going to cook for this guy. No, mommy. So they were angry with me for 2 days. They didn't talk to me because I'm trying. They were like, you don't want us to feed these people. I said, no, you have to be realistic with what you're doing, right? So they have that passion already. And it's because they've seen their mom having it. It doesn't just come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, because I also saw my mom doing it. And giving back to the community is something that I'm telling you, one day I got money. I just came in the house and I got £2,000 from the bank. They said, oh, you spent so much money, I'd given so much money, whatever. And I looked at it and I was like, I'm taking this to Shama. I'm taking this to my charities in Kenya. And my children just said, that's what you're going to do. Because everything I get, I just want to put it back. And I don't know why. I'm just this person that just like giving.
You just have a heart for
I just have,
giving.
yeah. I feel sorry when I see people suffering, and I know I cannot help everybody. That's impossible. And I just help where I can, and I always encourage everybody to help where they can. Because if we are 10 people, you're helping here, I'm helping here, helping here, helping here. The river will be big because it's always just a drop of water. So if everybody's dropping, we'll have an ocean at the end of the day, and that's how it comes. So with Kenya and Friends in the Park, this one started in 2015, and how it started is the fact that there's a girl that I knew. She was only 28 years old, and she committed suicide, and the note that she left behind was the fact that she was lonely. And she even did her makeup, her nails, her everything. So she knew this is something that she planned, you know, and that really broke my heart. And I was like, wow, how can somebody be so far? Because diaspora is home away from home. It's really, really lonely in diaspora, to be honest. And this girl committed suicide. And there's another Ugandan girl who died in the house of starvation. And I was like, seriously, in the UK, you're dying of starvation? It's because she didn't know anybody, or she didn't want to run to somebody. So I said, you know what can I do? What can I do to make a difference? So that's when this idea came about.
Was birthed.
That is when it was birthed, Kenya and Friends in the Park. So I said, okay, so if we call, and then also the investors part of it. In diaspora, we send so much money back home, and I'm sure you've heard of these stories. And they show you a big building, but it's on their name, so it's not yours. A very beautiful house. Or they build your house, and when you enter, you're like this, because the walls are like this. So you send 10,000, they only spend 1,000. That house is totally rubbish. Or they don't do anything. So you come back and it's just water. There's nothing. So because of that, a lot of people in diaspora gave up and said, I'm not going to develop in Kenya anymore, develop Kenya. I'm not going to build in Kenya. I'm not going to invest in Kenya. I've had enough, because these are family members, friends, cousins, doing this to them. So that also triggered me to start Kenya and Friends in the Park, because I was thinking, okay, so if we bring investors from Kenya, and that's why we could normally come here every year, me and my partner, she's going to another meeting because she couldn't be here. So we bring all the investors from Kenya and give business to people in Kenya, then here, who are looking for diaspora clients, and also give diaspora a room that they can now invest in Kenya peacefully, knowing that if I'm going to buy a house, I know the house is there.
All right, so for you, it's more of just trying to see how you can make a difference, give back, assist in one way or the other.
Yes.
Good place to end this conversation.
Yes.
I've been speaking to Lydia Tett Olet, founder Kenya and Friends in the Park, as well as founder Malaika Dance Unique, and also a philanthropist, talking to us about her story and what she gets to do in the society, both in the UK as well as Kenya. We finish the show at this point as we pave way for Parliament coming up next.